I remember my first time looking to buy a custom keyboard cable. It was super overwhelming with the amount of color options that are out there. So in this video, I'll be sharing with you some of the cables that I finally started making again, and sharing with you my thought process in picking these colors. The color combos that you'll see in this video are inspired by keyboards that I have on hand, cool colors I've seen from orders in the store, and also some random inspirations that I'll be sharing with you later in this video. I do want to make a video series exploring different cable colors, mostly because it makes cable making fun for me. So if you have an idea that you want to see made, feel free to leave it in the comments below. And also while you're there, like the video and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. It's greatly appreciated. With that being said, let's take a look at these cables. The first cable we're going to take a look at is this hot pink one you see here. The idea behind this one was an attempt to capture the essence of the GMK 8008 key set. The coil is made from neon pink tech flex with candy pink paracord, and I think I was looking to create a solid color to match the most prominent accent color of this key set. The host end, I was looking to mimic the dark gray modifiers. To do this, I used carbon tech flex with charcoal paracord, and I think it looks to be a fairly good match. Gray heat shrink was chosen to match the primary colors of the alphas. And lastly, I decided to use a black SA12 connector as I thought it would be a good fit for this overall color scheme. Here we have one inspired by GMK Cafe. The coil is made from beige Techflex and dark brown paracord. I chose beige Techflex because I thought it fit the overall creaminess of the key set, and dark brown to go with the darker caps I guess you can call the espresso of the set. For the host end, I decided to go light, like milk, with beige Techflex and cream paracord. I think this complements the dark brown of the coil fairly well, while still keeping with the earthy color palette. Brown heat shrink was picked as I felt it fit the theme, and I used the black aviator because I remember the meme around this whole set that the modifiers are brown, not black. Next we have probably my favorite color combo in this video, inspired by the ancient key set GMK Keyboard Co. For the coil, I attempted to get that Tiffany blue by using aqua tech flex with aqua paracord. In the host end, I used black tech flex with the same aqua paracord from the coil to mimic the modifiers you see on the keycaps. Black heat shrink I feel was a no-brainer, and knowing this key set was inspired by the Tiffany dunks, I used a chonky silver SA12 to add some bling like the swoosh from the shoes. This one turned out not to be as good of a match as expected, but here's a cable I put together inspired by MoDo Light. For the coil, I used white tech flex and the same aqua paracord seen in the last cable. For the host end, I used platinum tech flex with white paracord to go with the light gray of the key set. Gray heat shrink was used since I didn't want another color to contrast too much, and I used a YCA connector just because I felt it kind of matched the artisans I had on the arrow keys. Probably the boldest colors I picked out for a cable, but here's something I put together for GMK Wavez. The coil is made with neon green tech flex with Kelly green paracord, and I feel like the more vibrant tech flex colors, the paracord under doesn't really get seen as much. For the host end, I used carbon tech flex with the same Kelly green paracord, and I used carbon tech flex here as I thought it darkens the color really well to go with the dark green vibe of the key set. I used neon green heat shrink around the detachable and USB-C, and I used one piece of black heat shrink for the USB-A because I think it would look pretty awkward to terminate the darker end with neon green. And I used an SA12 connector here, a green one, just because I had it lying around. These cables here weren't really intended to match any keyboard, but I wanted to show you how carbon tech flex can be used to darken colors, and shimmer can be used to make them look more metallic. The same lavender paracord was used for both of these coils. I think shimmer and carbon are some of the most versatile tech flex colors to use, since half the strands of the braid are clear. This lets the paracord colors come out while giving them a darker or metallic effect. I guess this looks like using Discord on light mode or dark mode. I remember packing an order with Teal Blue Tech Flex, and I was thinking this color looks really cool. I wanted to try it out, so I used Teal Blue Tech Flex with light blue paracord for the coil here, and to let the Teal Blue be the star of the show, I went with a simple white on white host end. For some reason, this shade of blue reminded me of those Calypso blueberry lemonades, which I don't even know where you find them anymore. So I used yellow heat shrink because it reminded me of that. And I used a white aviator just to make sure the other colors stand out more. During the time I was putting this cable together, I guess the 49ers were doing really well in playoffs or something, so I decided to go with this red and gold color scheme. The coil is made with carbon tech flex and red paracord, and the host end is made with carbon tech flex and gold paracord. I tend to use black heat shrink when I'm using carbon because I think it fits well with the darker colors. And I used the red SA12 connector here as I felt it matched the shade of red in the coil. I think this cable would also pair well or decently with that one GMK Samurai keyset. I don't see too many cables with patterned tech flex or paracord, but I do think they are really cool to experiment with. Here I'm using black with green X tech flex with black paracord for the coil, and for the host I simply went with black on black. I used neon green heat shrink around the detachable just to add a little more color, then I used black heat shrink on the USB ends just to give it kind of a clean look. Since black was the prominent color on this cable, I went with the black SA12 detachable. Red is probably my least favorite color, but I wanted to make this one to add to the diversity of colors you see in this video. The coil is made with red tech flex and red paracord, and the host end is made with shimmer tech flex and silver paracord. I went with gray heat shrink and a silver SA12 connector to give it kind of that steel look. After I finished making this one, I was like, this kind of reminds me of those RuneScape dragon swords. One of the first color combos I randomly put together when I first started making cables is the one you see here. I called it the Dark Magician. For some reason back then when I was posting cables on Mech Market, I like to come up with these really funny names for my cables. The coil is made with dark purple tech flex with purple and silver diamond paracord, and the host end is made with the same tech flex and black paracord. I do like the purple tint the tech flex gives to the paracord in this one. Purple heat shrink was used for everything except the USB-A. Then I used the black SA12 connector, since honestly I'm lazy and these connectors are really easy to add. Lastly, to pair up with Dark Magician is the Blue Eyes White Dragon. This coil is made with blue tech flex and royal blue paracord, and the host is simply white on white. I used white heat shrink around both sides of the detachable since I like those colors to be the same. Then I matched the USB ends with the color they are sleeved with. I randomly realized a few hours before putting together this video that I can interchange parts of the SA12s, so I Frankensteined a blue and silver SA12 to make this cable here. Whether you're looking to commission a cable from someone else or want to build them on your own, I hope this video has been helpful to hear about my thought process in picking colors, and also to see how some of these colors actually look together. The reason I really got into making these custom cables is that I just found it really fun to play with different parts, play with different colors, and to make things that I really liked. As I mentioned at the beginning of this video, I really wanted to make a series of videos kind of exploring different colors and different parts. So if you have any suggestions for, cables you have ideas for, feel free to leave them in the comments below, and maybe I might just make them. Anyways, thanks again for taking the time to watch this video. I hope you all have a great day, and make wise choices. Alright, bye.